and we're going to find out if we can take it to a third map and overpass. Tom, do you have one better than that?
There's probably something with ABC, but like trying to say their name in that rhythm just sounds painful, so I'm gonna ignore it.
I thought you were going to go something with like Aristocrats again.
No, I was just gonna go ABC as easy as Aristocracy, but it's not easy, so that's the irony of it.
That's not bad.
Either way, it is gonna be the early trade. The CT side managing to kick things off well. I think an important factor in Manise managing to pick off one more, leaving Refresh and Snappy to try and do all of the damage.
A little bit of around the world going on here.
Yeah, they've managed to get themselves onto the site with the bomb going down. The wraparound coming in, both players through the vent. Snappy not quite able to connect onto both, and Dia with the double will be picking up the first round. Now, the early bomb plant does make things interesting, because we know that OpTic like to save their cash. But in these sort of situations where you're playing a map like Nuke, you want to be getting those T rounds as early as possible. So I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of risky force buy from them here.
Sorry, I'm just really disappointed with how terrible mine was. I just realized what I said, and it was just like, I deserve that verbal abuse from Machine.
Well, they are going to take the risk.
Like,
I'm trying to move away from it, and you're bringing it back.
Bring him up back.
It's like you want the punishment. An XM for Taz, I'm happy to see it. We've got ourselves SMGs for every member of this OpTic side. As said, this is not something we see from them on the majority of maps they play. It's normally a fairly safe purchase.
Watch this, Tom. Taz in the perfect position to make the XM do a ton of work.
Why are you doing that? You're going to wrap around past him. Dia will be the one to steal both kills away from Rallen, who did most of the damage. The bomb, in fact, will be going down. But the fact is, the rotations in fast. Mouse actually doesn't manage to connect the shots. It's the ring around the Rosie, but Mouse comes out on top. Refresh still doing damage, and Taz does get a kill with the XM, so shove it, Jason. Practice, lots of damage has actually been done, but Mouse will come in with the flank, and it is going to be the second round for Aristocracy as well.
We're on the same side here, man. We're on the same team.
You're trying to jinx an XM. We're not on the same team.
It might work in Silver 3. It's not going to work in these games that much.
You just insulted Hiko as well. Like, how could you?
I mean, he's my Jew bro, so we're good.
Fair enough.
What do you got to say to that, huh?
Yeah, there's no good response to that.
The only good response is just no response. And moving on to talk about how we have Aristocracy with a 2-0 lead, but the bomb plant was there for OpTic. You talked about buying up early to get those T rounds built up early, and they've done it yet again, investing everything into this round. Or not everything, sorry. Just a majority of pistols, even some armor here or there.
Basically just invested what they made off the back of kills in the last round and the bit of loss bonus they have building up. MSL trying to be a little bit sneaky, spots the nade, and also takes a bullet to the face. Snappy will at least be able to get one back. Gets them some access to the site. Unfortunately, Dia up above. It's going to make things very difficult indeed, and in fact, they're not even going to try it. They're going to double back towards Mouse. The AUG, and they're not going to be winning that battle. 3-0, Aristocracy off to a good start, and even though there's been heavy investment into these last few rounds, the fact is they've been able to keep things relatively clean. So their money already starting to build up. And for the T side, we finally get the first proper buy.
And for Aristocracy, I feel like it's really important to get a lot of these CT rounds just because of how strong OpTic can be on the CT side. We saw versus Fnatic. Snappy basically locking down control of ramp room. This nice little spot behind the boxes. Did that in quite a few rounds in that match. But we're going to see, like you mentioned, BAP coming out of OpTic, and we're looking for them to pick up this round. And, well, with Refresh getting a shot through the door, Rollin's going to fall. Unfortunately, though, Snappy's fallen as well. And look at this aggression coming out of the CT side, actually. They pushed up ramp to really bring it to him in radio room. And Taz well pushed into hut, but in the meantime, OpTic have opted for the outside.
It's quite rare to see CT teams really challenge the lobby. Well, Nico on the outside is going to give the man advantage, and there's already a lot of damage done. Manise with a peek on low HP. Didn't really stand a chance. OpTic's waiting, and every angle they're peeking at this moment in time, it seems like OpTic are ready for it. Taz just going to be holding into that lobby still. The bomb rotation looks like it may be heading in towards the B site, so he really isn't going to be well placed, and not really a reason for him to be. He's seen the wraparound of different players from other portions of the map. Refresh. Just drops into his frame. Can't react quick enough.
So the first tier round picked up for OpTic, very important. They can pick this one up, they'll be looking good to at least tie things at 3 apiece, and I wonder how many rounds oh, don't even say it. How many rounds total they can get on the T side, especially if they get some momentum going here. See, I can't jinx things while being sarcastic. I actually have to believe in them, and then it happens. So I really wanted to be mean about the XM. But I also really like Taz.
Yeah.
He even said hi, he said hi to you during the break, right?
Yeah. No. He apologized for not saying hello to me sooner.
Well, there you go.
Which is just, like, ridiculous level of friendliness. It's impossible to dislike Taz, and if you do dislike Taz, please just leave Counter-Strike and never come back.
Yeah, go over to some other FPS game where you can run on walls. There we go, Refresh though, trying to make a push in towards ramp with the help of 2 other players. Mao's trying to hold on to this though with the AUG and just takes a couple of shots. I like this play, backs off. Diha's going to be here, but Diha's going to be completely burned out of this position as well as Rollin. But not making the jump down just yet. Rollin gets the first, this one onto Config. I think that was on towards outside as he's trying to flank.
Yeah, just waiting patiently, holding the pixel angle. He knows he has a teammate further down the ramp already, so doesn't really need to overface in this scenario. And the clock starts to burn away for OpTic. I think they may be expecting a few more rotations, but Rollin is very aware, and Taz still just sat above. He's got Mani's support as well. They've used their last bit of utility wisely as well to just burn this clock even further, but it's going to be the sneak out. Not very sneaky at all. Mani's has spotted everything. Taz wants to try and make some money, but he doesn't get anything done. It is just Snappy left. 1 versus 2. Knows that there's a man up above, so we'll throw the nade in and do a fair chunk of damage. The problem is Mouse is quickly going to pop up the ladder. And that's a 4th round on the board.
Well done. Aristocracy do stop themselves from having to go on save, having to let OpTic tie things up. Good initial start, as well as with the shoddy buy-up they had. The XM picked up. Rollin really doing some work here with the op kill onto Config, and then the follow-up onto MSL.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me as well is the fact that their utility was hugely limited. But on that A site, they held the grenades really late, just to try and deny any chance for OpTic to actually wrap back around. So I don't know if that's based off like research from the previous match they had, where maybe they were using utility a little bit too early. But whatever's happened here, they definitely seem to be making sure that they're prepared for any late round rotations, some mid-round calls coming out from MSL. And while in this scenario, T's still in with a buy. Could be opting to try and take the fight outside.
Dominis didn't actually spot MSL jumping up because of the flashbang. He's going to be completely blinded up here. Now it comes down to MSL to hit the shot, and he will. Good initial start here for OpTic to take some control on the outside position. Has to worry about Diha, obviously. And Taz still with the XM, by the way.
I think it's just a way for them to sort of save money. And if he can get kills, it really is a fantastic way to build up bank. Not the best if it comes down to any sort of retake. While the battle through the floor is going to be won by Diha. Config unable to close him out. 45 seconds left. It really has been late round decisions being called in from OpTic. They've been given a lot of map control outside, but I think that's just for Aristocracy quite happy to just turtle up within the site, force them to make plays, and MSL is going to have that opener. The fact is, though, Taz is already within the hut. He may be able to catch one of these players as they look to rotate around. It is going to be him coming in onto Refresh, spots him out, but gets dinked up instantly, solo on HP, and will be finished by the Galil. Rollin a little bit late trying to pop up the ladder, and now Mouse is going to try and recreate his teammates' play, and gets the same result.
How are you feeling about the XM so far?
It will happen. I have faith. We don't listen to the haters in the XM.
Do you just have a pro Discord? Just XM only scrims?
It's just me. It's just me in there.
I mean, so it's not really a pro Discord then.
No.
To where we'll get you some people in there. Just like Aristocracy really needs some money. Down to the pistol is going to be rushing directly up for a ramp, straight into radio, and looking into lobby, but it looks like OpTic going to be reading into this. But they've done some decent damage. Ron and Diha do pick up a kill apiece. Diha gets a second, going to push past the Molotov and eventually burn out, but they've done damage. Look at Nico and MSL both falling down. I think that was Config as the third. But OpTic have to be happy about that.
Yeah, the problem is that I get that obviously with what they had, the damage they did isn't bad, but that's a full investment still. That's all their money put into that round. So ultimately, they were looking to try and win it. And the problems that we saw from them previously is the fact that OpTic were able to get like a lot of rounds over on their T side. And it seems to be starting to happen again.
I think they were missing an XM on that push. That's why it didn't work.
Yeah, for sure. The XM no armor play is just fantastic.
It's a meta breaking.
I will say as well, the Mag 7 being so much cheaper is also quite useful. Like $1,300 to get yourself a shotgun that makes you 900 a kill. I would say that in like some rounds where you are low on cash, it can be viable again. But it is one of those things where you have to be so clinical with it. Like it is like I like the weapon, like jokes aside, and the shotguns aren't as good as the other gun. In certain scenarios, it can work, and we've seen it from especially Polish players in the past. They've been very willing to pick up those guns.
Wasn't JW a big proponent of it?
Yeah, and the sawn-off, he
ago?
was one of the only people who could ever use a sawn-off. Snacks as well. Pasha even used the Mag 7 over on Cobble. Like, if it's used in specific positions, I have no problem with it. The only thing is, I think there are times when you have to know, okay, this isn't working, and switch your setup. And I don't know if that will be coming in. Like, for now, all it really seems is that Taz has been either low on money or dropping weapons to other teammates, and he's playing a position where
you can get away with that.
Yeah, and unless they're pushing Mini or Heaven, in which case you've lost so much map control that you're probably screwed anyway, that gun is perfectly viable where he's playing.
Well, in the meantime, while we've been talking about this, Nico did fall, and Mouse was able to rescue an AK. Why am I even here?
For these exact reasons.
That's how I feel right now. He didn't let me finish my sentence. Rescued the AK for the 20 seconds he had it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I believe you.
God. So now 4-4. We're going to have the BAP come back in for Aristocracy. However, the utility is extremely lacking, and that's something you mentioned before about even on low utility, they're able to delay the pushes out of OpTic to really force that time down. Are they able to do it again? As it looks like OpTic going to go for an early peek in towards Connector. And refresh not going to be going. Sorry, that was a refresh. I think that was Rollin not going to be going for the peek there.
Yeah, trying to challenge a little bit for outside. It has been something, again, we've sort of mentioned so far that the CT side are pretty much abandoned, but we're actually going to see a little bit of a peek out from Diha. He is normally the one making the plays for this side, but in this scenario, couldn't get anything done. And while I was talking about holding onto utility previously, there's 1 minute 15 on the clock and they have none.
Diha, though, still sticking around secret. Trying to be a real nuisance. He got config low earlier on, but now he's going to lose his head for the battle. The rest of OpTic have decided to move in towards ramp, though, with that kill, maybe allowing a nice little push in towards lower, which we haven't really seen. We've had lower push once, if I'm not mistaken. Then it wrapped around back to upper. Maybe there's a second in there that I'm not thinking off the top of my head. Minis, in the meantime, with the help of Mouse, able to get a nice double kill. And they've halted this progression that OpTic had. They halted the aggression as well.
All the players at the moment on this CT side looking to take aggressive peeks. Taz, the one looking to hold down the A site, and MSL. 7 HP, but he does have an AWP. He's going to be able to fade back into the vent, and that will get him a bomb plant at least. Nobody's going to be quick enough to finish him off. There's no nades, so they can't even force him out of this position. But he's going to know that there's players quickly in on spot, and Mao's already holding the angle for when he peaks. 3 kills for him in this round. A 5th on the board for the CT side, and money really not going to be an issue for OpTic here. They'll be able to purchase comfortably.
Very important for Mouse, though, that angle he had with Manise. Like, Manise kind of
Yeah.
dropped back down towards lower. But the thing is, if he didn't get that double with no utility left, like, there was no legitimate chance they should have been able to hold ramp or hold any of the sites.
Yeah, I think that's why Diha actually went for such an aggressive play on outside. Like, if you get spotted in secret and you peek again, there has to be something, like, there has to be a reason behind it, because that is not a smart play to make. Like, there is, I would say, about a 70–80% chance that you're going to lose that battle, because you're literally peeking your head out into someone who's already watching on the T side with an AK. Like, you're almost asking to be killed. So I think there was some desperation there. Rarlan this time does take the face, and it's a faster play coming out from the T side. They haven't spotted Taz, however, and this time it's not an XM, it's an AK-47 in his hands. Nico will remove it. MSL looking to try and help turn things back, as Nico's already low on HP, can't really be the one making the plays here. I do wonder if they're going to try and double back into the vent. The only problem is the drum's been bopped. There you go. Not the bomb's been dropped.
Even I struggled to figure out what you were saying.
Diha picks off another, and Rarlan with the AWP. 6-4. Aristocracy have bounced back, but there's still some finances left in the OpTic bank accounts. See what sort of purchase they're going to come up with. I believe I still saw someone on their team with around 8,000, so it should be fine to juggle around weapons. I think that was MSL. They will still have another buy coming into this.
One thing we did see, the OpTic Fnatic match on Nuke, there was a lot of like rushing through vents by destroying the door with a nice little grenade. MSL actually somehow gets a pick onto Rarlan. Luckily didn't have the op this time. And Diha is going to respawn back onto him, so unfortunately that man advantage they just gained is quickly gone. Looks like MSL was trying to make a play towards Secret. This little double flash. Gonna force a fake here, and now Mouse gonna be out of position towards ramp as he's looking for the rotate, but it doesn't matter. He gets the first, he's looking for the second. And Refresh will get one, but again, Manise is gonna be there. Always able to return these frags. They will give up that control of ramp, but it's still gonna come down to a 3-on-2. I think Snappy just blocked that Molotov.
Yeah.
That Nico was throwing.
Bit of miscommunication coming in for the side of OpTic, and we've seen Taz rotate around. He's in a decent position here, has some support from Diha as well. Manise with a quick shot, not even the AWP this time, and finds the last piece of the puzzle. They know where Snappy is, and only on 4 HP. He's got no hope. Diha will even kill him off through the door. That is a 7th round, and a few retakes starting to come in now from Aristocracy. They're happy to let that bomb go down on the B site. They definitely seem to be building into their sort of team play together.
It's an interesting fist bump strategy there, by the way. Didn't take his hand off the keyboard, instead used his mouse hand to go across his body.
I thought you were going to say he just couldn't be bothered to move and just sort of went like this while on his keyboard.
No. It's a little bit of a pause coming in. I'd imagine this is going to be out of OpTic just to talk some things over, realizing they need more rounds than this, or wanting, I guess is the better way to say it, more rounds than this on this T side of Nuke. How's your Danish?
I don't know. Give Risk a call if you want.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say it was delicious.
Yeah, that is where my expertise actually lies. Pastries. We can talk about my diet if you want. It's been a healthy day for me.
That's cool.
But then again, who doesn't want crisps and cake for dinner?
Anyone with
diabetes?
Oh.
All right, get him out.
Yeah, let's get rid of him. Wait, what is he doing here? Okay, no, I still have to keep him. He's doing graphics. We need him.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's a good diet. I enjoy it.
It sounds delicious and sounds very healthy.
Healthy is my middle name. Well, T-side going in with their pistols. Rarlan looking to try and shut things out. And leaves it all onto Snappy. He's going to give him the angle he wants, but isn't going to be able to connect the shot. And then goes back for a repeat anyway. Gets that 8th round, wins the half for Aristocracy. And boy, it was mentioned by Chad the last time they played a 14-1 T-side half for OpTic. Definitely not going to be a repeat of that. And I don't think anybody can really be surprised by that fact. Like, it does seem like a one-off. Also, again, it was mentioned, it's going to be something that they go back and watch. Like, you're never going to let a game like that go and just be like, ah, I'm sure next time we'll do fine. You go, you live through the pain of that horrible defeat again and again to just realize, okay, how can we fix this? How can we make it better? And that just sort of shows, well, the better teams from maybe some of the teams that aren't going to do so well in these sort of tournaments. Aristocracy looking to try and make things 1-1, 1-1 in our scoreboard. Not that far away from doing it.
Again, this is probably the most outside presence we've seen out of a CT side compared to yesterday. We did have Jade. Oh my gosh. Maybe give him shots like that. Oh, he's going to miss them that many days of the week.
And he's also using the distraction to actually take a pick himself, so things getting worse for the T side. Nico, his one sort of benefit that was he being a little bit sneaky, but isn't going to pay off. Taz waiting patiently for refresh to come in, and that'll be a nice, easy kill from...
That was a really close zoom in on his finger hair. Oh my god. Jeez. What is going on?
Those are the sort of things I want to be seeing.
Yeah, I could count how many hairs he had on his ring finger. His left hand.
It was just an attempt to show off how good the cameras are.
Yeah? God. I just did not expect that.
It'll be nose hair next. That's what you really want to see.
I don't want to be that cameraman. It's like, yeah, today we're going to need you to get some really good shots up Rollins' nose. Wait, what is... Yeah, his nose.
Yeah.
It's for a montage we're putting together.
I think that might be a little bit more off-putting than zooming in on his hand.
I would hope so.
You got to get those angles. And that's something that Aristocracy have done very well. They brought it back.
Have nose hair?
No, got the angles.
Yep.
That's been the difference. They've just got better nose hair. No. Pistols once again for the T side. Some utility invested into. Maybe an outer take with the amount of smokes they currently have available to them. AK also invested in onto refresh. They do have the loss bonus behind them, so not really so much of a risk. It's going to be those smokes thrown in. MSL looking to try and get in towards Secret quickly. There is one man already down and waiting for them. It is Maniz with the AWP, but he's going to miss the initial shot. They're going to push onto his position, and that'll be him overwhelmed and the AWP falling into enemy hands. Mouse, however, has already rotated as well, and it seems to be the full force of this CT side. Ready and waiting for the push. Snappy expecting a man in the corner, but he can't do anything about it. Mouse will get to config spotted, but nothing they can do about him, and back the round swings again.
It's just down on Mouse. Up against 2 here. OpTic Gaming switching up the pace. Seems has worked out. MSL gets 3. Config gets 2. And now we're looking at a potential 9-6 scoreline, though. We cannot say it's over just yet. Aristocracy did have the money to buy up again. I really wish I knew Danish. I heard smoke. Jason, please stop jinxing us. I think that was the rest of what he said.
Talking about the party they're going to have if they win. Well, 9-5. Peek out from MSL. Good start to the round. Now they can actually just up to fall back a little bit here. Not much utility expended either. Repeat comes out from MSL, however, and that's going to be right back into the 4 versus 4 Maniz. We've mentioned it before, he's been good at trading back a lot of these early picks, giving Aristocracy a good chance in the majority of these rounds. Dia as well, taking some control outside. Seems like Config may be aware of it, but Dia's not sure how far they've actually crossed past. They're going to be able to get very far forward. Maniz tries to take his time, but maybe takes a little too long.
That's what happens when he's given more than 0.2 seconds to hit a shot, you know?
Gets to him. The pressure. Oh. You could always see by the movement of Config, he just went, that was close.
Well, it's going to be a 2-on-4 now, and it looks like OpTic will be taking the 9-6 scoreline. Taz going to be coming in from ramp. Of course, just as I said that, it probably means that Aristocracy is going to win the round. And if that happens, I'm just going to... There we go. That makes me feel better about myself.
Counter jinx the jinx. Well done.
That's how you have to do it. So we will see the comeback a little bit here for OpTic as they do get up to 6 on the T side of Nuke. But of course, they're going to be switching over towards the CT side. We're going to find out if Aristocracy have what it takes on the T side to close us out to 2-0. And we'll see you guys after the break.
Walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk away, walk away, walk on, baby. Walk on, baby.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
What is this?
What? You don't like to cast off the reflection of someone's glasses? I'll tell you what. Okay, so one time,
closer, please.
one time casting a game that shall not be named, we lost the video feed, but we still had audio, and we were casting like this Chinese tournament. I still casted the match based off audio alone.
What game was it?
Should not be named.
But what game was it?
My father made it.
Oh. Okay, I know.
It's something you can do in Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you give it away.
It's probably
enough
more
clues.
entertaining to do that in Counter-Strike than to actually play this game.
I would 100% agree. Either way, we've got the T's looking to go for a fast push in towards this B. Site rotation already in from Snappy and Config, and Snappy is going to kick things off. Actually manages to get 2 before being overwhelmed, so gives his teammates a chance for the rotations, and MSL does just that. 1 kill to his name. Doesn't need to overface in this scenario. Rylan just going to be looking to use the door to his advantage. It actually finds the headshot onto MSL. Knows there's going to be another man, but can't do anything versus Refresh Mouse. He needs this kill back. if they're going to have any chance of this round. He knows that there's players going to be coming in from behind him, so needs to quickly get it. Interestingly, Nico took a while, but it won't matter either way. 7th round on the board for OpTic, and they start their CT side strong.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Refresh continually challenging like that.
Yeah.
But he was being smart. He was trying to keep the attention focused towards him, so the flank could come in on Nico, so they could close out that round. And a much-needed round for them as well. I'm just going to bring this up now because I'm not predicting anything. But Overpass is our 3rd map, if we do need it.
You're trying so hard not to give this any weight at all.
I don't know. I feel like this is OpTic's game. This map to lose. It's all up to them. I feel like this should be a relatively easy game for them. And plus, Sponge did say 2-0, so I don't know if that's going to come true at this rate. But we're going to find out, as Aristocracy, obviously on the T side, do have a chance. They bought up some AKs off the back of that plant.
Yeah, this is both teams now we've seen go for the earlier force buys in this round. MSL caught with a nade in hand, but gets away. Important factor. Maniz and Taz actually, both of that armor. I'm surprised that they still have the AK if you don't have the armor behind it. And Diha could be given the AK, he could take the Galil, but clearly the Galil works absolutely fine, as he's already dinked up MSL and found the opening pick onto Nico as well. This is looking good for the T side to bounce things back right into their favor. And he's just holding outside. It's going to be Snappy already rotating in. He could flank Maniz's team without too much information from the man lurking around, and he's actually going to kill him off instead. So he will go down, but at least the team now, there's somebody coming up behind them.
I'm really kind of scared for this T side after what we saw yesterday. Especially on Overpass, I guess Vertigo to some extent, of not being flexible in the mid-round calls. I'm wondering if mid-round calls will be happening here, as we did see on the first map of Mirage.
You're in one, Jason. They've just decided to switch up towards the B site right within the last 15 seconds of the round.
The curse lives.
And it's going to be Config trying to save this man, just to get the first. Now, Dia's low. He's picked up an AK as well. Nade will get him at least within inches, and Taz will close out the round.
See what I did, by the way? Not to reverse curse it, but I'm like, yeah, OpTic probably going to take this. Haha!
So you're an Aristocracy fan?
I neither confirm or deny that.
Well, I know you're a Taz fan already, because who isn't? So.
And if you're not, you can get out of here.
Again, second time. We'll reiterate that.
So if you don't like cake and chips for dinner, and you don't like Taz, you can get the hell out of the stream and the hell out of the studio. No one's raised. Oh, there goes one guy. How do you not like Taz? It's the same guy.
That's what I'm going for.
I just think he's never met Taz. That's probably why.
I think it's more the cake and chips he was against, which...
Or maybe it's going to go get more cake and chips.
Worse. What if it was Taz with cake and chips?
I'm just imagining pieces of chips over his nipples and...
Okay, you're
I don't know. Why is he with cake and
just
chips?
Bringing it to you. Like, why
that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Yeah. So a minute 14 left in the round. Aristocracy looking to hit on the outside as Taz is going to bring the pain as well as the cake and chips.
Hitting the shot from MSL, but he will be traded in return. T-side.
That does make way more sense, I'm thinking about it. On like a platter or something. That's much better than his body as a platter. All right, let's go.
So weird.
Yep. I'm done.
Refresh has gone for the XM without any armor, so he really is going for the all-out power play. So she can be Nico again. It seems to be the trades coming in. Damage done at least off a couple of players. Refresh peeking out, going for the long-range XM, and we'll be able to find it as well. $900 made. He'll be the only one with cash for his team, but the bomb's going to be going down. He'll now retrieve a rifle and probably just going to opt to try and save that one. Snappy. Scout not really going to be that much of an upgrade. I don't know if there's a rifle for him to find as well. There has been a second death, so yep, there's the AK. And this will at least give something for OpTic to play with in the next round. I actually wonder, just based off the XM kill, if Refresh will invest that extra money that he made into some Kevlar.
It looks like Aristocracy's not going to bother to chase these down either. I mean, obviously on both sides of the map. Trying to keep themselves alive, keep their weapons into the next round, and more importantly, keep the momentum going. 11-7. Actually might catch Refresh if they continue to push it towards T-spawn. So no, they're actually going to hold off for now. Or sorry, CT spawn. But not looking too bad for them, not too shabby. Again, what was a 9-1 scoreline, or 10-1 scoreline on Mirage. They came back, took it to double overtime.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to take some T rounds on Nuke. Very difficult to do.
Yeah, I think the force buy win helped them massively because it sort of destroys, like, the one thing that you get if you just lose pistol is, like, Valve have decided, okay, you're getting an extra round loss bonus now. So there's a little bit of a safety net that makes you get into the buy rounds quicker. However, if you win the pistol and lose, then you just go straight back down to the lowest loss bonus you can get, and then you have to start building up the money on the CT side. So it's almost worse than just losing the pistol, financially at least.
You know, I think it gave some identity to teams back then. Thinking of Dignitas, how they would always win pistols and then they would lose the round after.
Snappy's looking to try and make that a reality, but not so much with the pistol round, just with these saved AK-47s. He's done a hell of a lot of damage in this round already. Refresh is also bobbed. The Kevlar Snappy's just doing it all on his own. Looking for that all-important ace. He spotted Diha's feet as well. It's going to have to be the 1v4 just to try and turn this around. Snappy's going to get spotted, finally put down, but it's too little too late. OpTic just managing to save 2 AKs was enough, and they only really needed 1.
A couple of shots out of him too. The ones back towards window, especially the first tap right there. He kind of just shot that last bolt without expecting Mouse to be there. Really keeping the hopes alive. MSL's able to forward an op now because of this. Aristocracy not with the best of buys. You see a couple of, or you see at least one pistol in there and a MAC-10. Wonder if they're going to try to pick up the pace here. Taz going to run through the fire, through the flames, and down the vent. I think that's how the song goes. So he's able to get some sort of lower control, but again, he has a MAC-10, so it's not like he's going to be able to win out on any long-range battles. You have to be up close and personal against Snap, and he does get the dink onto him, yes, but he gets dinked himself. In the meantime, Diha goes down, and Snappy actually goes for the chase on the Taz, which nets him an AUG. And Mouse comes up big with the kill on the config. So just like that, somehow, the T side has been able to get themselves into this round with a solid foothold. Yeah, a solid foothold.
Taz will have heard the scope as well. So he's definitely going to know there's players here. Unfortunately, there's nothing he can do about it. Venice, however, definitely will, and that's a free AWP into his hands. So it is just the battle of the force buys at the moment. Rallen ends the life of another Refresh with 12 HP, doesn't have a choice. He's got to just try and save his weaponry. Luckily, off their own force buy win, OpTic have actually managed to make a hell of a lot of cash. So you can see that, considering they basically just won a round and lost a round, they still have a few players with some money, so they might go for the investment once again. The thing is, these sort of rounds benefits the T side, because the T side's always going to be, well, it's easier for them to get buys on the board, just based off AK being cheaper, some grenades being cheaper, not needing a kit, and being able to throw in rounds a bit like this, where you just do something a little bit risky, a little bit dicey, and it gets you into strong positions. So it's whether or not they actually want to take the risk here, continue this force buy war, and if they eventually lose it, they pretty much lose the map.
So now OpTic going to be taking a little bit of a timeout here to talk some things over. And by right, they should. I mean, after the great play out of Snappy to get them back into the game after saving the double AKs with him and Refresh, get the quick quad kill out of him in lower, and they lose the round thereafter. Going to be frustrating to the OpTic guys. But again, if Aristocracy win this match, all 4 teams in our group will be at 1 apiece. 1-1.
Yeah,
which means tomorrow, the winners of those 2 games are going through to France. It makes those games so important. I totally agree with you. I'd rather have the final day of matches mean something than to have a match that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no matter the situation, this would be the best case for us as viewers. But for the teams, it's all the pressure on. Especially when you consider, like, for Aristocracy, they will have Fnatic. So although they may not have looked their very best going forward, I think when it comes down to crunch time, they're probably not the team you want to be facing off against. Taz will have fought them many a time. Question is, are they going to get to that point? OpTic still on the CT side, still going for a purchase themselves. It's actually not that bad. A FAMAS for config, not ideal. Utility fairly minimal, and a Deagle for Snappy.
But Snappy alone at ramp, though, with just the Deagle. I mean, at least he can retreat away and try to play a little bit of a closer angle with the Deagle if he wants to. But more players needs to stay alive and actually do a lot of damage to Config. That's 48 just off the Molotov alone. It looks like the ramp push will come. Snappy sees it. He backs off right away. And now Nico looking for some shots. He's going to need to hit at least something here. A lot of damage again being traded down to Mouse with 23 HP. Diha down to 70. But 40 seconds left to go. It's not like they can sit here forever. They have to make the move eventually.
Yeah, and again, this is the call to make. Whether they just head to B, I think they have to, because Nico's gone up the ladder. MSL waiting, but doesn't manage to get the kill, and now Snappy's going to be pushed, but MSL's there to have his back. It is still going to be the trade, however. 20 seconds left on the clock, and Snappy's managed to get a double. Once again with high-impact frags. Rarlan having to try and hold on, defend his planter, and he has failed at his job. Leaving it on to him in a 1 versus 2. Got to try and plant the bomb, and OpTic will manage another force by victory. It's been backwards and forwards all the way through. The question is, have they finally ended this saga, or is it going to be another bye for the T's?
So Snappy with just the Deagle picks up a double. Again, showing the importance of just staying alive and not overly investing into a position.
It's arguable that he has won both of those force buys for them. He got the quad kill with the AK-47 a couple of rounds ago, and he now gets 2 kills with the Deagle when they're pushing onto him. And if it's easier, like let's say there's one more player for the T side, I think defending that bomb plant's going to be a lot easier, and also they'd have had a little bit more time.
The bomb probably would have been put down too, because you saw Ron immediately transition to the doorway. Medis,
no.
while blind up, gets the kill onto Nico. MSL is able to respawn onto Mouse, and a second onto Taz. They try to rush him down secret. Support's going to be there for him as well. Don't know if they can really take this push, especially with the way Refresh is playing here. Oh my god.
One bullet shot from the AUG.
Thing is, they've dragged both players down towards lower, right? That leaves only Snappy alone at the upper side. Obviously, the transition to vents is possible, especially with where MSL is holding. But an op coming up vents is a very risky proposition, especially when they've given up complete control of Heaven. So now with Refresh backing up, trying to maintain the spot, will fall. Now puts things down to a 2-on-2. You can see Diha just waiting for the push to come in as Manise in the meantime trying to look for the opener. Wow, with what, 13 HP, 14 HP, he gets the kill?
He's got 4 now. A fantastic round coming out from him, and MSL is left in the clutch. These rounds just, no one's able to win 2 in a row. That seems to be the big problem. MSL is going to try and change that back, but he doesn't spot Manise. 5 kills for him, the ace to close out that round, and he was tagged from fairly early on within it, so a great response from him, and he's another one we've spoken about in terms of confidence a lot of the time. If ever he needed a boost, that would be what will do it.
I think confidence was something that he was struggling with. If you think back to Mirage, you know, going for the quick shots on T side with AWP down middle, missing 2 of them, ends up giving the op over to his teammate Diha. But on that CT side, seems to have gained that confidence back, and definitely, like you're saying, with a round like that, he's got to be proud of it, especially getting the ace in such a crucial situation. 13-9. The pride and hope here of Poland. Trying to get 1 step closer to head over to France to represent themselves. And I mean, even in an interview with Taz, he was or with HLTV, Taz was saying, you know, top 30 isn't the goal.
No.
They want to be top 10. They want to put Poland back on the map when it comes to Counter-Strike, like he did with Virtus Pro back in 2014.
Yeah, put them on the map initially, and now wants to get them back on it once again. And to be honest, he's the last person I would doubt to achieve that. This time, though, well, we asked who would be the force by Victor. It was Aristocracy. Not much invested into this round from the CT side. They're looking to take the save. Interestingly, I wonder how the loss bonus has actually gone, because this is one of the situations it's quite hard to read just based off both teams winning force buys. I wonder if they'll actually have enough money to buy into the next round.
Did Mouse not have a weapon? Okay, there it is. They're back 10. Took a while for MSL to pick that up. But But yeah, I'd agree. I actually have no idea how the rounds have gone over the course of this half, considering how back and forth they've been.
Well, Nico has $700, so their loss bonus has to be max, and I'm almost certain it's not. Because it has been very back and forward. And yeah, there you go, it's 1. So they're not going to be able to buy in the next round either. So they really need to try and pull off something here, unless they're going to go for another risky force buy in the next round, but that seems mental. So, interested to see what OpTic are going to do. MSL's Mach 10 achieves nothing. Refreshes here with the CZ. It's going to spot out Ralen, but the same can be said the other way around. And Config going to try and do some damage with the Deeg, but he may just have to consider saving here, because it's a bleak situation, but they really don't have any money.
Well, we've seen them win rounds with not much as well before. They've been able to win rounds off the back of a saved AK, which obviously is some gun, but then Snappy getting a double with the Deagle.
Yep.
They pushed him towards lower.
I think they'll take another save, yeah.
All right, so they're looking to play for overtime.
Yeah, this is the sort of problem. I'd said it when the sort of rounds were happening, that when you have this sort of back and forth with the CT side, you're more likely to fall into trouble because you need to invest into a lot more. A lot of the weapons are more expensive. Also, you've got the nades more expensive in terms of your incendiary versus Molotov, your kits as well. So the T's, if they just keep grinding out these rounds, they can take more risks and get away with going for these force buys far more often. So this hasn't worked out for OpTic, and normally they are the team to sort of take the hit earlier on. This time they tried to basically break down Aristocracy, and they failed. So now they've taken the hit, but it's been very, very late within the game. Trying to do some work here with just pistols, but ultimately you expect the Poles to get to 15, get to series point.
Glad I didn't say that, knowing my track record. Still taking their time, though. 40 seconds left, so time will become an issue. They continue to move at this pace, but they're starting to pick up their speed as Manise picks up a nice double on the entries in towards upper. Snappy runs through the door to his death. And we're now on map and match point here for the Poles.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of opportunities to do it as well. The CT side have at least saved a couple of rounds to get decent finances.
You know, I was just remembering something, is that obviously being Orgless right now, qualifying for the finals would obviously give them a bigger chance.
Oh,
I think there's already a massive chance they will, and I'm pretty sure they're already talking to some, but they could ask for more salary for something like that from qualifying. They could maybe look towards another team if they wanted to join them in particular, or have more arguing power.
I think with someone like Taz in the lead, like he's going to make sure that they get a good deal for the team. So.
Yeah.
And I think that they are one of the, well, I think they must be the biggest team without an organization behind them at the moment. So, yeah, if there's anybody out there looking, this is the team you go for, I think without a doubt. But we'll see. They're not done yet. Even if they win this game, all they're going to do is equalize everything. Basically back to day one. Taz is looking to do just that. Already finds the opener. Pushes through in his court, and the same could be said for Manise. It's not done just yet. They can't get ahead of themselves, but they have managed to get some control in towards this B side. They've got to be careful, though. They need to make sure they defend this bomb planter. The spray's going to come through. Ralen picks off MSL. Dia also finds Nico. This has quickly swung into their favor once again. Refresh doesn't spot much around the corner of the smoke, but he's going to know that he's here. Dia doesn't actually face in the right direction. Both players looking to come in through the door. Flashbangs well timed, but doesn't blind anybody. The T's just waiting patiently. They haven't spotted out Config just yet, and he's going to find the kill onto Mouse. It's left onto Ralen. The 1 versus 2 clutch. They haven't actually checked the lower angle. He's waiting. See Config, who jumps up and hits him with the AUG. The 10th round hits the board, double digits available for OpTic. And they're not done in this game just yet.
I don't even know how he hits that shot jumping across. What a shot, and what a time for that to happen, too. If Ralen gets the kill onto Config, he can just hide there and wait. Wait for that defuse to come through, and Refresh is going to have to push him, and that's almost certainly the end of the match as well. Well done by the OpTic guys to keep that composure and keep in their fight to take it to a third map of Overpass. But again, just because they've done it once doesn't mean the economy out of Aristocracy is broken just yet. They still have the full buy in this round. And OpTic are still hurting on their side.
Well, as long as they haven't got ahead of themselves, Aristocracy is still firmly in the driver's seat. So we'll have his AWP. And other than Nico, the buy really isn't weakened at all. Set Molotov's going to be thrown in once again, clearing pretty much the same angles, but it means that OpTic can never have any of these elevated angles, and then when it comes to the take, they can clear the closer ones. So there only one Molotov left.
Well, what's weird is that they Molotoved it off, right? But they didn't do anything off the back of that.
I think
So
it's
he
just
could
a
have
no, it's
retaken.
clear when they push in. Config in a different angle this time. MSL and the refresh chiming together to do all of the damage, and now it's left onto Rallen. A much stronger hold of that A site. We start to see the comeback once again. It has happened in the majority of matches we've casted, Jason. Is overtime on the cards?
Has it happened the majority? We've had 4 matches. And this would be the 3rd, yeah.
We've
No,
had a
yeah.
lot of sort of close games today.
Yeah. Oh, we've had a lot of close games over the course of yesterday and today.
But is it happening again? Are you avoiding the question?
So cake and chips.
Ah,
For
we're
dinner.
going back to this again.
I think every kid out there that's their dream. I remember when I got my first paycheck, went
why
straight
I
to the
shouldn't be a
store
parent.
and bought a ton of candy. There's nothing more exciting than, you know, putting down 50 bucks worth of candy. The greatest. And it's nothing more exciting than resetting the entire bracket now. If they can finally pull off the 16th round.
Yeah, there'd still be head-to-heads, but I'll be honest, it's not my job to work that stuff out, and I'm very glad, because it is confusing as hell.
Well, head-to-heads don't matter if you win tomorrow. If you win, if they win today and they win tomorrow, those head-to-heads are not going to matter at all.
That is true. You are correct.
Making our admin's job even easier. Look at Mouse rushing straight through Nika, though, get the better of him, and what a crucial time for that to happen. You can see the rest of the T side looking to push through this door.
Yeah, we start to see the Hail Mary plays coming out from the T side, but Maniz is going to catch off Config. Refresh up above. Actually just trying to use the USP. Probably not the best weapon to have in that scenario. Snappy also caught. This could be the beginning of the end as Nico's low. MSL has the AWP in the retake, just hoping he could find somebody through the smoke, but they now know exactly where he is. The HE not going to do enough. Though the Incendiary may force out one of the players. Nico's so low, he has to just headshot everybody from here on out. They are waiting for him, and it is done. Aristocracy, they level up the table. It will all come down to our final day.